Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today's video is a kickoff to my Dandy Garden Create Where You Are January kit to go. I'm so in love with this kit. I was able to play with this starting back in November. It was featured as part of our an on-stage event that Stampin' Up! Hosted for demonstrators, and I also hosted a swap, so I have a ton of cards to show you at the towards the end of the video. So for my Create Where You Are kit to go, you receive in the mail from me a pre-cut cardstock kit to create 8 cards with envelopes. It's 2 each of 4 designs. That's all the pre-cut cardstock pieces that you're going to need. If there's any die cutting, I will do that, being as this is a punch bundle, not a die cutting bundle, or if there's embossing, whatever, you will receive all that in your cardstock kit. You will also receive a half a pack of the Dandy Garden Designer Series paper. That's 2 of each sheet. And here are the amazing patterns for that. I also do sell these kind of reference charts for all of the Designer Series papers in our new catalog. I have them all here in my binder in lovely plastic covers, and I do sell these kits. You'll find a link in the description below this video if you're interested in purchasing it. I do have a limited number available, so if you are interested, order it quickly. Now the celebration papers, I will include the printed white sheet. You will have to supply your own papers and cardstock circles, but for the 9 patterns in the January to June mini catalog, I will provide the papers and the cardstock circles for you. So anyway, I digress. This is the featured paper, so you'll receive a half a pack of this. You will also receive a container of the Ladybug trinkets. These little guys are so cute, and they attach easily to your projects with a rolled up mini glue dot, and I'll show you that today. You'll receive a roll of the Mossy Meadow linen trim, as well as a roll of the Misty Moonlight ribbon. So you'll receive the paper, the ribbons, the embellishments, and the pre-cut cardstock kit, all for $45, which includes priority shipping. If you don't have the Dragonfly Garden bundle, which is the stamp set and the double Dragonfly punch, you can add that to your order, and I will have links to both of these options below the video that you can click on to get your kit complete. I'm super excited about my card today. I'm going to show you how to use this stamp, but I'm going to show you how to easily shorten it. Since it's a pretty long stamp, I don't want to use it quite this long, so we're going to shorten it. I'm also going to show you a trick for getting a tiny dragonfly, since there is no dragonfly punch for the tiny dragonfly, but I'm going to show you a little trick using the regular dragonflies so you can get one of those. So let me get my supplies for, oh, I guess I should show you. These are 2 of the cards, including the one that we're going to make today. These are the 2 other cards that you're going to receive in your kit, the supplies. And then there'll be one more card that I just haven't designed yet, but I'm going to design it soon, and it's going to be amazing. So go ahead and click below to order your kits, and let me get the supplies for the card, the 3rd card, and we'll get started. All right, here are the supplies. We have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of crumb cake cardstock that's folded in half. I have a 2 3/4 by 4 inch piece of basic white cardstock. I have a 2 7/8 by 4 1/4 piece of Mossy Meadow, and 1 inch by 4 1/4 inch strip of this pattern from the Designer Series paper, and a scrap of crumb cake. So we're going to start with our white layer here, and I'm going to bring in a couple of scrap pieces of copy paper. So we're going to lay the white on the scrap of copy paper, and I'm going to take the super long image and I'm going to ink it up in Memento Black. Okay, so I'm only doing the top part of it for this first stamp, and I'm going to cover the bottom of my layer with another piece of copy paper. And so I am covering about, I guess about an inch, 1 1/4 inch, something like that. So then I'm going to stamp my image over to the side and up to the top like that. Very simple. Then I'm going to bring my ink pad back in, and I am going to ink up the bottom of the stamp here. Okay, this is how we're shortening this. Then we're going to bring our scratch paper back in, and we're going to cover that up again, but I'm going to leave a tiny bit showing so that I can actually see it, because that's going to help guide where I'm going to stamp this. So I'm going to hold my scratch paper in place. Then I'm going to kind of come over the top looking straight down, and I'm going to use this so I can see, you know, how far from side to side I need to actually move the stamp around. So we're going to go about like this. Okay. And then when we remove the paper, you can hardly even tell that we did that. There's definitely a break right in there that you can see where they don't actually line up. But we're going to cover that up with our ribbon embellishment when we get to that point, and then you won't even be able to tell that we've done that. So that's a really easy way to shorten that stamp, because I didn't want to use, you know, I don't always want to use it where it's, you know, 5 inches long. So great little tip for you guys there. So we have that done. Now I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment. This is a little stamp set, or a little stamp that says "For a True Friend." So I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp it kind of right in this area here. About like so. All right, we're done with that. Then we have our Dragonfly stamp, and I chose this image right here as the one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to stamp this in Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to stamp it on my little scrap of crumb cake. And I just need to get the top, the head, so I don't even need the full span of the wings or anything. Okay, so that's really all I need. And then I can bring in my punch, and you can see as I slide that in, it does work pretty good. And then we have a tiny dragonfly. All right. So now we're going to color some of these images here. And I've got 3 sets of our Stampin' Blends. I've got the Mossy Meadow, the Misty Moonlight, and the Crumb Cake. So I'm going to start with my Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to just kind of lightly color in the leaves, or the petals, to these cone flowers here. And there's a little tiny flowery image down here that I'm going to get. I think that's it. And this was the light. And I'm going to take my light Mossy Meadow. Get all those leaves. Then I've got my dark Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to kind of come into the tops of these cone flowers here with my dark Crumb Cake, and then finally my light Crumb Cake. And I'm just going to kind of just sort of throw a little bit of color on some of these little random things here. I don't know, I guess they're like just little stalks. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to add a little bit of color. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So that's what I have done. There we go. My little dragonfly, I am going to add to the top here with a mini glue dot. So we'll just get ourselves a glue dot here, and then add to the back of our little dragonfly friend. Whoops, that didn't even come off. Hold on, let's try that again. There we go. And we're just going to kind of add that right there. Keeping our glue dots out, I'm going to bring in one of our little ladybug trinkets. And I am going to place that on top of the glue dot. So there's my glue dot on my little ladybug, and I'm just going to kind of throw that right down here at the bottom. Okay. So then I'm going to adhere this to my layer. Pretty simple. Where's my seal? Add some seal here. And again, we just have a slight border. I did not make this layer too much larger than my layer of white. Then I'm going to bring in some of the ribbon here, or the twine, I guess it is. I'm just going to go right across where that would be, but I'm actually going to tie it into a knot. And I like to tie around things. So I happen to have a StazOn cleaner bottle here, And I struggle sometimes with getting my knots tight. Oh, actually, here's a scrap of that ribbon laying in the corner here. So let's go ahead and just use that. So we're going to tie a knot. There we go, easy enough. Kind of manipulate that so that the ends kind of work to how we want them to. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in some scissors and we'll snip off the ends. Okay, and then I need to figure out where I want the knot. So I'm going to put the knot about like that. So the knot's going to go there. I need some to tie around the back, or to push around to the back. So again, we're going to find that spot where the break is. Even though it's pretty hard to find it, I did a pretty good job of lining that up. I'm just going to add some Scotch tape to the back. And we're going to wrap that around. Add some Scotch tape to this. And then we have that done. So you can see I've used a scrap here. I am into using scraps if I can. A little bit of paper hoarding, I guess. Okay. So we've got that piece ready. Now we're going to bring in our designer series paper. And I'm going to add that straight across the layer here. Try to make it even as best we can. If you guys are enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out and I appreciate it so much. It's a big boost to my small business. YouTube likes any sort of interaction, so please comment below on if you have any questions or comments. I'm happy to answer any questions, and thank you guys so much. So we've got this done, so now stay tuned because I've got those swap cards I'm going to show you. Let me just trim off these ends. So that is a super simple card. I love it. We can also decorate our envelope. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Bring in an envelope. Okay, so we can bring that stamp back in, and then we can just sort of get a little bit of this image at the bottom here. So we can kind of throw one like that. And then, oops, I'm just going to ink that up just a tiny bit more and then bring in another one. And you can color those if you'd like. Add a little bit more fun to that envelope. So there we have those two things. Now let me bring in these cards that I got in my swap. They're amazing. All right. So I'm just going to kind of go through them quickly. If you purchase the class from me, there's always some additional samples with the PDF file. You also get the links to all the videos. I will have a video for all of the cards in the class, and you will get links to those in the PDF file. Here's the one we made today. Here's another one. Here's a third one. The fourth one is coming. I just haven't designed it yet, but I wanted to get this out there so you guys could start ordering it. All right, so here are some of the swap cards that I have, and also some cards that I made myself. Got quite a few here. Really nice cards. This is a really interesting fun fold here. Look at that. Isn't that fun? I think that tucks. Nope, I guess it does not. That one was a lot of work. We've got that. And this one here. Got one with a fun bookmark that you can pull out. That. Another sort of fun fold card. That one. That one. Here's another fun fold. You can see a lot of these cards have those adorable little ladybug trinkets on them. That. And then here's my inspiration card for the card I just made for you. This is a card that I created for a kickoff for my team. Isn't that cute? So you can see, you can do it in lots of different colors. And they look completely different. That one. And then finally, I have a diorama card that I created for the same thing in my team kickoff. It can stand on your desk, or it can just lay flat in an envelope for mailing. So that's pretty amazing. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my small business. And remember, thumbs up, and I hope you have a wonderful day.